Microsoft has recently signed a massive 15-year carbon removal deal in Canada. It covers 626,000 tons of captured carbon from a bioenergy facility owned by the Meadow Lake Tribal Council. The path is a straight line. Carbon is captured, credits are verified and sold, and capital flows to the Tribal Council. But the ledger has a hard boundary. The transaction completes when money changes hands, leaving the ecosystem out of the calculation. This is the danger of a narrow ledger. By only recording what the market values today, it renders the physical reality of the host community, the people, the water, and the infrastructure, completely invisible. Outside that carbon deal are the ledgers that go uncounted: local household utility debt, the limits of the local watershed, and generations of uncompensated care work. Ignoring these physical realities has direct consequences for corporate growth. When data centers are planned without visibility into the community's grid, they hit interconnection queues that can last up to 7 years. This fragmentation also creates massive compliance risks. Relying on scraped data rather than source-attested truth leaves companies vulnerable to strict penalties from global sovereignty laws like the EU AI Act. We call this phantom demand. Corporations overbuild based on predictive models that don't account for actual carrying capacity. They build for ghosts, and the result is stranded assets and infrastructure that never quite reaches operational stability. The industrial model of extraction fails because it builds on disconnected data. If a corporation doesn't see the community's survival threshold, it can't accurately forecast its own survival. The sovereignty engine is a coordination layer, like TCP/IP, for value, letting disconnected ledgers finally meet. Using Lock 7, community data never leaves its source. It is mathematically queried to verify truth, but never collected by the central corporation. This allows households, watersheds, and local grids to act as sovereign nodes. They can attest their exact capacity limits and survival thresholds directly to the system without losing their privacy. By replacing scraped data with locally attested truth, the fragmented transaction is replaced by an intelligent, closed-loop circuit. Historically, our economy has relied on a colonial fracture, extracting value from a point of origin and concentrating it elsewhere, without ever compensating the source. To heal this, we use a metric called indigenous depth. This moves the tribe's generational stewardship of the land from an abstract cultural identity to a verifiable mathematical measurement of presence and contribution. Within the protocol, this measurement creates weight, a quantified standing accounted for in every transaction. The tribe then extends this standing to everyone sharing the point: households, workers, the watershed. This creates a collective MW, where ancestral weight stabilizes the entire community. By weighting generational care, the indigenous and corporate ledgers align, the circuit closes, and the colonial fracture begins to heal. For Microsoft, connecting these ledgers turns a climate commitment into an operational advantage. When the grid's actual capacity is attested at the source, the uncertainty that drives these multi-year delays disappears. Grid operators no longer have to build defensive, speculative models. The queue shrinks because they are building on verified reality instead of a forecast. This same visibility ensures regulatory compliance and removes AI bias. Because the data is attested by the people who live there, rather than scraped from fragmented histories, it is inherently more accurate and legally durable. True social license is earned through this verified community coherence. It transforms the neighborhood from an opponent into a co-builder of the infrastructure. Within this coordination layer, the carbon credit starts a systemic recovery of value. Reclaiming capital lost to grid delays and environmental depletion generates a 36-to-1 return. This value recomposes at the origin, actively restoring the watershed and compensating previously invisible care work. This is the AND principle. While industrial models relied on trade-offs, choosing either profit or community, this coordination model enables system completion. We can achieve corporate carbon removal and local data sovereignty. We can scale global infrastructure and structurally heal the host community. The technology exists to stop draining the point of origin. We can repair the global economy by building ledgers that finally let us see each other.